Welcome to Mortgages and More, your go-to podcast for the latest insights in the mortgage industry. Join us as we dive into expert advice, unveil actionable tips, and learn how to empower the next generation of homebuyers. Get ready to elevate your knowledge and make those property dreams a reality. Let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Woo!
We are back. It's Kyle and I again, and we have a new guest today.
Yeah, we do.
It's kind of how this thing works, right? Every day
we have mortgage royalty.
We do
on the call today.
Before I hand it off to you, Kyle, I've been looking forward to this conversation, and of course to Bill's chapter in the book for back to the day you told me that he was going to do this. So thanks for coordinating this, Kyle and Bill. It's great to formally get to spend a little screen time with you.
Likewise.
So I want to say before I let Coach Bill loose, when I was introduced to Coach Bill, he was considering doing our video editing service when it sucked really bad. and I remember, so I don't even remember who made the intro now. I probably should remember that. And in my head going, oh no, like what if he says yes? and this is how we start our relationship. And by the grace of God, you had such patience with us, and never in a million years would I've ever thought that you would have turned into such a mentor to me, and then so graciously write the foreword to my book, and just in every way, just create immense value for me personally in my life as a business person, as a father, as a husband. Just watching the way, CB, you live your life, it is an absolute honor to call you my friend. This book would not even be a good book if your words were not in it, in my opinion. And so thank you for saying yes to Brian and I, and to the mortgage industry as many years ago as you did, because it's better because of you. Tell the people what you have in store for them in your chapter.
Yeah, you bet. So, Brian, sorry about all that. You know, that's Kyle is always so gracious with me, and the only guy that calls me CB, by the way. Like, remember, I grew up in the 70s where CB was like Burt Reynolds and Smokey and the Bandit. So, Breaker.
I don't even know that.
Bring it on back. Yeah, it's a whole generational thing. Brian, because of the gray hair, might be just a little closer to some awareness of that, but don't ever stop. Like, I'm CB to you, and that's as it should be. So here's what I decided that would be the most helpful. When I heard this project, I thought about it, I cogitated. I'm sure you guys were watching the clock counting down on the deadline, like, haven't seen Coach Bill's just yet. And then it suddenly hit me that it's this idea that if we can help people to close the gaps between what they intend to do, I intend to do this, and what I actually do, man, that's a home run for me as a coach. You know, I feel like there's no shortage in our industry, in any sales endeavor, of great data and information and inspiration. And but here's my experience, man. 30 years of doing this, 20 years of doing this, 30,000 hours in the coach's chair, is that information often washes over people and ends up in the blowing dust of great intentions. And so what I want to do is pin that intentionality against the wall, and that's what we've done with this chapter.
So good. Don't we all, like, now that January 1st is come and gone, we've got these lists, whether physically on paper or in our minds, of like all the things we're going to do. And we're fired up about it. And I think there's even a lot of research that shows that we can get like the endorphins and some of those things to begin to fire as if we've accomplished something just by dreaming about what we hope to accomplish.
Yeah.
It's wild. And so you've already said in the chapter to us. And so Brian and I already know that it's going to be unbelievable. I even already got to watch the video that's going to coincide with your chapter, and I'm not going to give anything away, but it's amazing. But I also know, Coach Bill, that you only got one chapter. when you've already written a book, but we all already know there's multiple more books inside of you. What's something that got this close to being what you wrote about, but it didn't make it?
So it's going to be my second book. And
all right.
Yeah, it's about impact, Kyle, and you are that guy. So I think it makes sense to you. The working title is Impact, as in ... not COLON, just for the yeah, that'd be a whole different book, I think.
It's a different book altogether.
Yeah. So and then the subtitle is Revolutionizing Business Through Giving Back. I mean, that's who we are as a company at Movement Mortgage. 49 cents of every dollar goes to charity. And it's just who I've always been. And it's the thing that I'm most attracted to. And the thing that I see in our industry uniquely, I think, is because the opportunity to do really, really, really well financially in the mortgage industry, as well as real estate, is so high, with the bar being so low. I don't have to go get an advanced degree. I don't have to go get 10,000 hours of experience. I can just decide I'm going to rock at this business, and I'm going to commit to these disciplines. And so my shout out to people is look for something larger than yourself to drive you. The Simon Sinek video on your why, where he draws on a flip chart with the circles and talks about Apple. That's the message. So it's start thinking about impact. I believe that we as an industry have been so focused on consumption and lifestyle and a capitalistic view of what's possible, which is awesome. It's who we are as a company. But how much more is possible if we start focusing on the impact that we can create through the earnings that are possible?
Yeah, and I would even go a layer deeper, and I'm sure it's something you're talking about. I mean, if you think about impact, what is more impactful as an industry than housing? It's completely, that's what we do every day, right? We're all impacting families by helping them either get into or better optimize their housing situation. It's amazing.
So I don't know if you guys happen to see this, but Shayla Gifford, who is a legend in our industry with Guild Mortgage, she posted over the weekend, she said, volume, who cares? Units, doesn't matter. Families impacted, that's what I care about. That's what I'm focused on. So to your point, Brian, it is housing. It has always been housing that has pulled us out of financial hardship. The good news is we're talking about, the potential for 3 rate drops this year. New construction is gearing up. It's you can smell it. Like, it's starting to look really good. We have massive amount of demand right now, massive demand for housing. So, like my good friend, Kenny Klaus says, one of the top realtors in the country out of Phoenix, he says, everybody needs a roof. Like, everybody needs a roof. They don't need to own it. Maybe they're going to rent it. But if you're a landlord, you want people that want to rent and have a roof. And so, yeah, man, impact. Let's at least inject that idea in our nomenclature. And so instead of it just being all about me, and my numbers and Scotsman's Guide, like, cool, but what's possible? What's the impact that you can have? That's my message next time.
Wow.
Come on.
Killed it, Kyle. I never doubted you.
Oh, yeah. I'd have to bring much to the table. So we knew what we were getting in Coach Bill. You're the best, man. I love you.
Love you too, brother. Good hanging out with you guys. Cannot wait to get this book in hand. And I think it's going to happen faster than any book I've ever seen put together. So,
that's right.
Well done. Excited to be a part of the project. Appreciate both of you guys. Thank you for making this happen.
Thank you, Coach. Well, all right, everybody. We'll see you back tomorrow. Same time, same channel.
Later.